All right, Chukwudi Okolobaja is here in the studio with us, ready for newspaper review. Good morning, Chukwudi. I don't know why I felt like introducing you like a Gen Z baddie. Just say my man, Chooks the boy, is in the house and something like that.
It is the natural excitement I create in you. We thank God for small mercies. Mary,
good to see you.
Flattery will take him everywhere. No, it won't get you anywhere.
Anyway, exactly. And by the way, I don't like hearing the word Gen Z around me. Let's take a look at what the papers have. The lead stories on the dailies that we got this morning. We'll begin with the Daily Sun. And the Daily Sun leads with the fallout of the end bad governance protests. And the caption says, new twist as federal government goes Britain over alleged plot to topple Tinubu. The riders, police declare Andrew Wine wanted, begins trial of protesters on treason charges, court remands 10 to prison. Okay, that's on page 4. You want to see what's going on. Hyperdeck calls for state of emergency in flood-ravaged states, says 634 communities, 40,000 families affected in Benue and Kebbi. All right, beside a picture story right here on the front page of the Daily Sun, a National Assembly lauds Tinubu's 50% electricity subsidy for public hospitals, faces pressure to cut budgetary allocation. Below that, PDP initiates discussions to bring Kwankwaso Obi back. Page 6 has all that discuss you want to see. Tragedy in Unsuka as mom, daughter, 2 others die and sleep. Sad story. Page 4 would guide you. Police nab 92 suspects kidnappers from McCarthy Forest. That's on page 5. And yes, this is on almost all the papers this morning, and it's cause for concern. Fuel scarcity worsens as marketers' stocks run dry. The riders, experts want for the government to collaborate with local refineries. That's on page 22. Okay, that's the only rider there. Fuel scarcity worsens as marketers' stocks run dry. And a black strip at the bottom of the front page of the Daily Sun. Wike not above discipline, says PDP. All right. Page 6 has that. You want to find out who is holding the cane or the whip. All right, let's see what the People's Daily has now. The People's Daily is our next paper. Of course, end bad governance, fallout leads. This one here says police arraigned 10 protesters over claims of attempt to overthrow Tinubu. That's right here. And above that, Northern governors pledge united action against rising insecurity. Of course, disciplinary action against Wike is also right here on the People's Daily. That's an interesting topic you want to see. Below the picture story, a man attempts to gouge out wife's eyes for alleged ritual in Abia. 19-year-old native doctor kills client while testing bulletproof charm in Edo. 19-year-old native doctor kills client while testing bulletproof charm in Edo. Interesting. Page 7 has that. We have commenced petrol production, says Dangote Group. Of course, looking forward to seeing that in our fuel stations. Governor Yusuf inaugurates Judicial Commission of Inquiry on killings and looting. And that update on the protest. So that's it from the People's Daily. Victor.
All right, the leadership is here as well, and it leads with this prominent story. Police uncover foreigners plotting regime change. Declare British citizen Andrew Wine wanted. I am ready to answer questions. Suspect. Arraign 10 end bad governance protesters. Okay, and then above the nameplate, Northern governors unite against insecurity. Page 6. And on page 12, late President Yar'Adua's mother dies at 102. Right, and below the masthead, NNPC's debt admission worsens fuel scarcity. And on the strip to the right here, you have a couple of stories. Our report will reposition livestock sector, JGA committee, page 7. Banks deposits with CBN rise by 104% to 3.8 trillion naira for implication, check page 25. NYSC, JAM denies role in HND graduates exclusion, page 7. And finally, before we drop this, 2027, it's a tiny strip there, 2027, Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso in talks to produce candidates. That's according to the PDP, and it's on page 4. Chukwudi.
Thank you, Victor. Interesting. Britain is being, hunted over the hunger protests. I don't want to go into the pronunciation of his name. This is not a broadcast, class. But the double N there suggests it might be a win at the end of the day. Anyhow, the police really must have their facts. Otherwise, the bit about the protesters to be charged kind of rankles somewhere. But you don't know what the lawmen have found out. It is not protesting that will be treasonable. It is what happened within the protest that would be treasonable. So the question is, did anything happen that would take the stakes that high? You and I cannot know.
Well, it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. So it's going to be brickbats between prosecution and defense, So, good. Now, the fuel thing is becoming more and more intriguing. The federal government has not up until now agreed that there is subsidy. And hear nothing, say nothing. We don't have subsidy as far as I'm concerned, because government has not come out to say that. But I remember that the former governor of Kaduna State did come out at a point to say that there is indeed subsidy. My private thinking suggests that maybe there is subsidy. That is not even the point. The way editorial is headed concerning the matter worries me. Why are we not saying that with Port Harcourt almost ready and Dangote about to, we are likely to see a drop in the price of fuel? You have to, again, what sort of journalism do you practice? You have to tell us that there is hope for tomorrow. Why are we always tearing up a sordid past?
Well, perhaps because Port Harcourt has been almost ready for so long.
That was in January.
Almost ready for so long.
Port Harcourt refinery, the artful dodger of petrochemical industry.
By the way, have you seen that comic relief about the Port Harcourt refinery? That the dates they keep setting for the refinery to begin to work, they never get to inform the refinery. So
and I saw a
the refinery is not aware that it's going to work.
Yeah, this is serious business. This bit you're introducing. You see, sometimes I accuse you of mild mischief. You're exuding it again.
No, but
how can you suggest that the refinery is not part of setting a date for its recommencement? It doesn't make sense, does it?
It's everywhere. I'll send it to you. No, but looking at the shift in dates, over 6 times. Like we keep hearing,
Actually,
this date, next date.
I don't talk about it anymore. I don't talk about it. Black Africa. You see, I don't like bashing Nigeria so much, because I see Nigeria being in the cesspool of things happening on the African continent. There's a way we are. If it were somewhere in the UK or US and you keep saying this will happen, and it never gets to happen, somebody's head would have rolled by now. Somebody would have resigned out of honor. Remember the Japanese opened the stomach. They called it harakiri, way back if they thought they lost honor in public. We, the Africa, where is dignity? Where are we?
Quo vadis Africa.
With Africa. So we got to change the way we think. We must show that we are accountable to the people. The good leader is that man who is ultimately accountable to generality of the people. Not the man who goes about in one SUV, all windows rolled up and tinted. That's not it. It doesn't work that way. So, we go on.
Northern governors unite against insecurity. I'm not sure where the contingent from Abuja that is relocating to the northwest. I'm not sure where the
Northern governors unite against insecurity. What did they do before? Insecurity is making Nigeria harm. Much of the food we consume comes from the north. it is very important to hit this point so that we know that every part of this country is relevant to the growth of the country. Petroleum, of course, gives us a lot of foreign exchange. But sustenance from day to day comes from food, apart from oxygen, security and all that. So they have to unite. They've been talking about it since. So I want to hear the header, the editorial, as this what they are going to do to actualize what has been touted for a long time. The first thing is the forces, the security forces, and those in government should have the same destination. Their vision must be one concerning fighting insecurity. They must never work at cross purposes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. And President Yar'Adua's mother dies at one.
When I hear Yar'Adua's name, who was it? Okay, I remember. Ojukwu wrote about the passing of Owl, the great Owl, the man who developed his community, the way the Sardauna did it as well. He said, he described Owl as the best president Nigeria never had. When I hear the name Yar'Adua, I bow in respect. He didn't have many days to show who he was, but the fact that he said, go and make peace with the Niger Delta, that is the way forward. Stop your kinetic and all that. Of course, when people get really criminal, you have to stop them. But the non-kinetic means worked in the Niger Delta. That's why we have relative peace today. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
Of course.
The Yar'Adua family.
Yeah,
not been easy losing two of your most prominent children, seeing them pass. Not quite easy.
Things would always happen in the world.
May her soul rest
What you require is the equanimity. Victor, we are talking this morning. How do we know our afternoon will be? May God have mercy on us.
No, but at 102, I think that she did her best.
No, we are saying that we are losing her children. And I said,
a lot
agony,
goes into the 102.
agony has no respect for anybody.
Well, very sad. But, towing that line of death, this tragedy in Nsukka of a mother and her two daughters dying in their sleep, something that, should be investigated.
It should be one of two things. Either a generator was on, or, was it reported that way?
No generator.
Or something they ate before they went to bed. It's one of those. I'm not Dr. Chukwudi though.
Okay, if you're not a doctor, but maybe you understand how native doctors operate.
Oh my God.
A 19-year-old native doctor has killed his clients.
Have I ever got into these studios with charms or amulets?
You leave them at the gate because you are thoroughly checked before you get in.
I'm well admired in my community, this Eluku. So whatever you do to give me a bad name will never stick.
No, it's not. It's not a bad name.
It was Kingsley Osadolo. He said something. I said, Killjoy. He told me that name will not stick.
It's not. No, but this story, cause for concern, and you may understand how native doctors operate. No, let's be frank now. A 19-year-old native doctor kills his client while testing bulletproof charm in Edo. By the way, so many stories coming from Edo in build up to the elections. October 21 is election day. So now, why did the native doctor not test, the charm on himself?
Black Africa should come out of daydream. You said, keep on going to Black Africa. She don't test them.
but this happened in Edo. I'm surprised Yere wants you to be the one to respond when it happened.
The supernatural does indeed exist. But if you want to make progress in life, run away from the supernatural. Live as natural a life as you can. Then you'll be happy almost on a daily basis. Because they'll tell you what the devil submits to you is going to come for sometime in your life. I don't want to become Pastor Chukwudi.
Well, very unfortunate for the client, but I think that it was unwise of him or her. He should have simply asked whoever did the charm to test it on himself or his friend or his father or something.
That's the logic. But preservation is the first law of nature. So he turned the gun against the man.
All right.
Or turn the gun on the man, please.
Let's take a break and let those who know native doctors and doctors, take a bow on the show. We'll be right back. And, of course, we'll get into the conversation. Stay with us.